Kia ora, and welcome to Thursday's Economy Watch, where we follow the economic events and trends that affect New Zealand. I'm David Chaston, and this is the international edition from interest.co.nz. And today we start with the news that we're entering the end of the year shadow of economic releases, but there are still some important things to come. And the upcoming sentiment signals as the holidays approach are not overly optimistic. Today, tech industry concerns are weighing on equity markets. Elsewhere, US mortgage applications fell 3.8% last week, the biggest dip in a month. Applications to purchase a home declined 2.8%, while home refinance applications fell 3.6%. Benchmark mortgage interest rates were little changed. More Fed speakers were out overnight, with a Trump favourite, Christopher Waller, saying US rates can be cut by 1%. Waller is a candidate for a Trump nomination to replace Powell. But Atlanta Fed boss Bostic says any rate cuts now will just fuel inflation, which he sees as already too high. In Canada, foreign investment in Canadian securities in October rose to their highest level since March 2022, a sharp rise from the high September level and far above what analysts were expecting. And we should also note that the Bank of Canada is moving ahead with its plan to support an official stablecoin. Also in Canada, we should note that they had their biggest dip in population in the third quarter of 2025 as they effectively shut their doors to immigrants. It was their first ever drop outside the pandemic. In Japan, machinery orders, but excluding volatile items such as ships and electric power plants, jumped 7% in October from September's good 4.2% gain. This is even better than expected because a 2.3% decline was anticipated. The October level was the highest level since March. So it won't be a surprise to know that Japan's exports rose 6.1% in November from a year ago, the third consecutive monthly gain and better than the expected rise. In fact, it was the fastest pace in export shipments since February and was driven by demand from the US, who have just accepted that they have to pay their tariff taxes. This gain pushed Japan back into a trade surplus. In Indonesia, their central bank left its policy rate unchanged at its meeting yesterday at 4.75% as expected. They see inflation holding in its plus or minus 1% target around 2.5%. In Europe, there will be monetary policy decisions tonight, with the ECB expected to hold and the Bank of England expected to cut. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now at 4.16%, little change from this time yesterday. And the price of gold will start today at $4,332 an ounce, and up $35 from yesterday and touching its record highs. Silver is at $66.50 an ounce and a new record high. And we should also keep an eye on platinum, also near its recent record highs. 2026 could be interesting for precious metals. And American oil prices are up 50 cents at just on $56 a barrel, while the international Brent price is up $1 at just on $60 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar is down 10 basis points from yesterday at just on 57.8 US cents. Against the Aussie, though, we're up 20 basis points at 87.5 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're unchanged at 49.2 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just on 62 and little change from yesterday. And the Bitcoin price starts today at $86,671 and down 1% from yesterday. Volatility over the past 24 hours has been moderate, though, at just on plus or minus 2.1%. Join us at 10:45 a.m. this morning when we'll be reporting the third quarter 2025 change in New Zealand's economic activity, that is GDP. Markets are expecting a 1.3% rise from a year ago, a 0.9% rise from the second quarter. And they're also expecting the second quarter to be revised up. Material variations from that will have financial market implications. You can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again tomorrow.